Hi, I'm Katie Ziskind. I own Wisdom Within Counseling and Coaching. You can learn more about intimacy therapy, emotional support, and couples therapy by booking a free phone consult at wisdomwithinct.com. In this video, we're going to be talking all about painful sex, some of the reasons why sex is painful, and some remedies that you can use to start rebooting your sex life. And of course, always working with a professional can really help, but these tips can help you start and feel a little bit of support today. So one reason why sex is painful, is because there's too much rushing. So oftentimes the female body needs 45 to 90 minutes of foreplay, whereas the male body only needs about 4 to 8 minutes of foreplay. So right off the bat, if a male is kind of advancing on a female and kind of working from just maybe kissing to like wanting vaginal penetration in about 8 to 10 minutes, this is what leads to painful sex. The female's body is not sufficiently lubricated or warmed up. It does take about 45 to 90 minutes for natural vaginal lubrication to occur. And the female body just works more slowly. So it's important for a partner to be patient and encouraging. So lengthening foreplay and understanding what is adequate foreplay for a female partner will support more natural vaginal lubrication. As well, during that process of foreplay, a female becomes more sexually aroused, and the more sexually aroused she becomes, the more naturally lubricated her vagina can become as well. Additionally, when we're looking at painful sex and we're learning about foreplay, we want to use lubrication. So whether there's a sex toy, a finger, a penis, anything like that being inserted into the vagina, we want to use external lubrication. So, KY jelly is one, but you can look up water-based lubricants, you can look up silicone-based lubricants, and even oil-based lubricants. And if you have really sensitive skin, maybe something like extra virgin coconut oil is a great place to start because it is just one ingredient. If you have allergic reactions, you may want to avoid scented, flavored, or even warming lubricants as they can be more irritating. As well, when we look at painful sex, we need to talk about trauma. Sometimes if there has been a trauma to a female's body, whether that's unwanted touch in adolescence or childhood, if there's been molestation, if there's been some type of sexual trauma, sex can be painful with a romantic partner, even a trusted partner, because of that trauma response. So the female's body naturally kind of closes up, anxiety and fear responses may be subconscious, related to trauma. And, there can be just an overall fear around sexual activity after trauma. And so fostering more trust, talking about that traumatic experience with a trusted partner, and opening up emotionally, being emotionally vulnerable can foster bonding and safety with a trusted partner after sexual trauma. So understanding that sometimes after trauma, a person's body may be changed or may be different, and that can kind of be something to work on with a therapist. When it comes to painful sex, it's really normal to maybe even blame yourself. So a big thing when we look at overcoming painful sex is to be playful, to be adventurous, to kind of take on a curious outlook and a curious mindset, rather than kind of blaming yourself or feeling inadequate or maybe taking on all the responsibility for having a good sex life. Like, it takes both people involved to have a really positive sex life. And, part of overcoming, painful sex means talking together about sex. What feels good? What do you want more of? What do you want less of? What makes you feel loved? What makes you feel excited? What's your favorite part of foreplay? Talking about sex can be a really great way to address where pain may be coming from. Also, education, specifically oftentimes for male partners, is important because a lot of times men are getting messages about how to perform sexually from pornography. Pornography is not sexual education. It is erotic material, and these are paid actors and actresses. So what that means is that if a male partner specifically may be getting education from porn, he might be watching like really rough sex videos and thinking that's what pleasures a female. However, super, super deep penetration is actually may not be that pleasurable for a female partner. A female partner might need more G-spot stimulation, and the G-spot is only 2 to 3 inches internally inside a vagina area. So if a partner is really like thrusting very deeply and like really rough in kind of sexual penetration, the female's G-spot is literally being missed. The penis is far too deep inside the vagina to even be stimulating the G-spot during deep penetration. So being able to have real education around, okay, the G-spot's only 2 to 3 inches in, how can we get more stimulation for the G-spot versus just kind of these very, deep penetration being like the sexual message that men get from porn, and like perceiving that to be pleasurable for a female partner. Whereas, maybe even having 2 to 3 inches penetrated, of just a small portion of a male's penis or strap-on or dildo being inserted in the vagina can be much more satisfying for a female partner. And there are specific sex toys for G-spot stimulation. So that's something really to be aware of, that this kind of deep penetration may not be as pleasurable for a female partner. We also want to talk about overcoming conflict when it comes to painful sex. So sex may be painful as a result of unresolved emotional issues. If there's conflict, my dogs are just playing, they're so funny. If there's conflict, if there's arguments, if there's a negative feeling of any kind, if a partner is cheating on a female, if there's been a trust issue or betrayal, this can lead to painful intercourse. So the female body and the arousal system is a combination of mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual needs. So one area, an emotional area, can very much impact the sexual area in the female body. So that's important to keep in mind. If there's name calling, if there's criticism, if a female feels like she could be rejected, she's probably going to experience some level of pain and discomfort during sexual activity. Pleasurable sex is all about really understanding the mixture of emotional security, emotional intimacy, sexual education, understanding where her clitoris is, how to stimulate those erogenous zones, lengthening foreplay, but also, using different techniques like adding external lubrication, adding certain sex toys, spending more time preparing for that first orgasm, creating a sense of desire, helping a female feel important and like her partner is fascinated with her body. So I think that painful sex is a very deep topic, and there are many issues that can play into painful sex for couples. And if you are needing individual support, the help of a couples therapist, a safe place to learn how to create more pleasurable sexual experiences, more support around how to lengthen foreplay and what to do when you're lengthening foreplay, for those 45 to 90 minutes. Our team at Wisdom Within Counseling and Coaching can really help in that area. So if you're experiencing painful sex, you're not alone, and there are many ways that our team can help you have more pleasurable, satisfying sexual experiences. And you can book your free phone consultation at wisdomwithinct.com. That's wisdomwithinct.com. I'm Katie Ziskind, the owner of Wisdom Within Counseling and Coaching, and I hope you enjoyed this informational video all about vaginal lubrication and painful sex.